But me not seeing anything, it changed a lot of shit.
Oh my God, he's gonna kill me.
Okay.
That's right. He's gonna kill me. He's gonna murder me.
I don't like.
I have this wood thing he wants. He's gonna murder me.
because there was always that you not knowing. Like there was
yeah.
always like you feel like, oh man, I shouldn't do this because you know what? Maybe there is a heaven, or maybe I will be punished and judged and all that.
Yeah.
But it's just like after seeing what I didn't see, that's how I say I didn't see anything. So they were like, so what I didn't see is just like, no, I'm gonna do this because you know what the hell? I'm gonna live the rest of my days doing what the fuck I want.
People think that like heaven is like, okay, now you get to be in a big pasture or whatever, walk around, see all your friends, whatever you want. You want ice cream all day? Guess what? You get ice cream all day. You want to, have orgies and all that stuff? Guess what? You got it. You deserved it.
You can have orgies in heaven?
Yeah,
No, that's what.
Whoa. That sounds
So, see, Lenny's back on board. No, heaven is a place that you're spending. So, like, I'm probably wrong. I'm probably not wrong, but I'm probably
Prior to 2 weeks ago, I had I had a couple of medical issues that I had to have some surgeries for.
Yeah, like surgeries or like.
I'm almost there.
Yeah,
I just need to
I don't mean to pry.
I need to find sensitive tissue to place where
the doctor's doing a horrible job, but you still look ugly as fuck.
Yeah. You just gotta flip a nipple down there.
Yeah, that and so it's a visible clit.
I have an any nipple, so mine won't even work. Anyway, finish. I'm also the only one not wearing sunglasses. I feel like an asshole.
Well, it's a big bright light.
No, we have some if you like. We have some extra ones.
There you go.
I'm gonna stretch these out.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
That's better. I feel better now.
Yeah, I feel like this is like the Fresh and Fit podcast now. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm definitely stretching these out though, just so you know. No, they'll be worn.
They look good.
Thank you.
Yeah, pull them off.
Thank you. I got them today.
Tell us more about that. So, like, I know you were in the hospital. I'm glad that you're doing well.
Appreciate that. I've had I've all through my life since I was 18 years old, I suffered from kidney stones.
Okay. Yeah.
So every year it was like almost like an anniversary or a birthday type of thing. Okay, here comes the yearly kidney stone, and I'd pass it, no problem. It
sounds painful.
You get used to the pain. You're just like, all right,
Shit.
Gatorade and Advil until you pass it. Mm-hmm. But when I came down here, I had a kidney stone the size of a Starburst candy.
Oh shit.
In my kidney, and they were
what
just
flavor?
I want to say cherry.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'd go with cherry.
I wouldn't mind having that.
But
I'm sure it felt like an apple though coming out.
It wasn't moving, but then I felt pain, but then they looked at it and they were just like, yeah, it's like right in the spot where it's going to cause a blockage, and the kidney's not going to be able to drain, so it's swelled up, and then it becomes infected, and then I got sepsis and all this other stuff, and I had to have surgeries to clear that out. It was a pain in the ass. So I was in and out of the hospital, down for a couple months, and then so I had my final surgery last month, and like a week or two later, I still had like a little bit of infection, but I was feeling good. Everything was out, and we go out. Me, Hunter, his girlfriend Victoria, and his brother Josh. We go out we have a couple drinks, and we were having fun, and we go home. I go home,
drinks.
and I drank more than I should have drunk. And I just got like this scary feeling in my chest. Like I felt like a weird palpitation or whatever.
Yeah.
And I called my older brother in like a panic. And he was just like, all right, I'll be there in a minute. Because he lives literally minutes away. So I go downstairs. I'm outside waiting for him. And then 1, 2, 3, lights on, lights off. My heart stopped.
Holy shit.
And I was on the concrete. He had to like resuscitate me.
Like he had gotten there. Like
he
say
got
what's
in
up.
there and I was on the floor out. This is what he told me. He got there and he's like, for like 3 minutes you were out, and I had to resuscitate.
Were you by yourself, like when you were out there waiting for him?
Yeah, I was by myself. Like, because I didn't like. It's weird because where we live, once you're in your bedroom, a nuclear bomb can go off and you just don't hear anything.
But before that, you were with Hunter. Right?
Yeah, I was with Hunter.
So where were you, Hunter?
No, my alibi. I was actually at the movies with a friend.
Oh, okay.
I was not anywhere near. I have pictures. I have that newspaper from where I was at that day.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where I felt like I just needed to go to the hospital. I didn't think I was gonna die.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, my brother Oscar will take me. I'm not inconveniencing anybody but him. So yeah, like I remember just standing there and like felt like this black haze was like circling me, and then next thing you know, like I said, 1, 2, 3, lights on, lights off, and then I didn't wake up until the next day around 4 p.m.
Holy shit. Now, quick question before you go on. If you had actually died, do you think that would have been like a good way to go out? Because it doesn't seem like it was scary or painful.
No, not painful at all.
Yeah.
It's like you know, I don't know if you guys ever had surgery.
Yeah,
and you get the anesthesia, and they say
yeah.
count back from 10, and then you're like 10, you're out. Same thing.
Okay.
Same thing. So no pain, nothing like that.
And if you, yeah,
the only thing was fear. It was just
Yeah.
I never felt a fear like that in my life.
yeah.
So that was it.
And you were raised Catholic, you were telling me.
Yeah,
earlier,
my mom was
right?
Catholic. My father's side of the family was they're Pentecostal.
Yeah. But at that moment, like, were any feelings like that? You're like, I'm gonna go to hell, son. No,
None. No bright lights at the end of the tunnel. No light flashing before my eyes. No golden staircase. Nothing.
holy shit. Okay,
Yeah,
so your heart stops.
We determined that his real life is hell enough, so I think God was just like, just leave him for now.
Yeah, I will send them back.
Yeah, he deserves at least another 5 years of this pain.
But like, and then like people ask me the same question. Did you see anything? And I'm just like, well, like I don't want to offend you or your beliefs, but I'm going to tell you, there's nothing on the other side. There is nothing on the other
You're
side.
like, I don't know if you're believed, but you're wasting your time.
Yeah. So yeah, live it up, man. Live it up. Yeah. So
That's cool. So, well, we're glad you're still with us. So
Thank
you go unconscious, and your brother starts resurrecting you. You know.
yeah, he told me like he did CPR. He was like doing the chest compressions, mouth to mouth, and all that shit.
Gay.
So,
Hot.
Yeah.
I remember waking up the next day and like not knowing where I was at, but then you look at the lights, you're like, okay, I'm in the hospital, but my chest right here, my sternum,
Yeah.
it felt like it was like somebody just hit me with a sledgehammer. Like
Yeah,
I thought I
yeah.
broke it, and I was
Yeah.
like, why does my chest hurt? It was difficult to breathe.
Yeah.
but like my brother's like 225 pounds that he's pushing with force
Yeah,
to try to
yeah.
get you back up. So yeah, so it
He's
hurt
like,
for like
don't go into the light, Lenny.
solid week. I was just like, oh.
Yeah, I hope he hit you with like some 80s cop stuff. Yo, you don't go to that, you son of a bitch. Not today, God.
You got a lot to live for.
I have no idea. I don't know if he was coming with like the hand or if he was just doing that. But no, my brother.
A couple of these.
My brother was a corpsman in the Navy, so he learned all that, that medical
okay.
shit.
So he's really good at mouth to mouth with men.
It's the second time he's like had to like help me out. One time when I was like 13, we went mountain bike riding. It was the first time me doing anything like that, and I went over the handlebars, and I separated my shoulder. And I remember my arm just hanging there, and he took his shirt, ripped it in like certain like pieces, and he made a sling. And like I was just like, he's like, oh, I learned this in the Navy, and like next thing you know, I'm in.
So your brother's really good at ripping his shirt in pieces, mouth to mouth.
He's like the
you know,
MacGyver, all that
yeah,
good
yeah.
stuff. He's like the MacGyver.
Yeah, I think your brother was in maybe the YMCA Navy. In the Navy. He was in.
Be careful, he shoot us all.
No, I know. That's why I'm saying it here and not in front of him. And hopefully it's not, just don't get out, cut the shit.
Nice. And how long ago was that?
This was about 3 weeks. Oh no, 3 weeks ago.
Oh shit! And how are you feeling now? Is your chest still hurt?
No, everything's back to normal. I feel 100% normal. But that first week, like I felt like something was off mentally and physically. I was like, something's not right. I hope I'm not stuck like this. But no, I feel like I'm back to normal now.
Oh yeah, man. Well, we're glad that you're back with us. Back in the land
appreciate
of
it.
Speak for yourself.
And so, kidney stones. Do you have to like regulate your diet or eat differently for some of that?
I have to
shit?
avoid certain foods, chocolate. I don't know how many people eat rhubarb, but that's like the second thing they tell me. Don't eat any rhubarb. No rhubarb pie. No rhubarb. I was like, I don't even know what the
fuck do you
hell
get rhubarb
I was
from?
like, I don't even know what rhubarb is. I was like, I usually call people rubes.
It's like red celery.
is
Yeah.
it? I don't like green.
It's really good on pie, but it's a very. I think you can only get it in certain states, like in Oklahoma.
Yeah, who told you that? A doctor from the 20s?
Like
You can't have rhubarb?
like a nutritionist, a dietitian.
Also,
They're
stay
like,
away from porridge.
You gotta
don't
avoid
wanna-
spinach. Like
Yeah.
greens. I gotta stay away from greens and
Really? That's like healthy, though.
dark colas.
Yeah, dark colas. Hold on, guys. Let me just sip this down. Damn.
But no, a lot of
You
it now
keep
is
dying.
like,
You're not eating healthy.
you just gotta like drink a lot of water and stuff like that. But I just think like I'm just like prone to them. So
Yeah, you're living. Live and learn. You learn nothing, but you continue to live.
How did you react to that, Hunter, knowing that right after you left him, he went.
I mean, it was like, oh shit, because he texted me the next day. I texted him, was like, hey man, did you guys get home safe? And he didn't respond. I was like, he's probably still asleep. And then I was texting my brother, Josh, who lives there. I'm like, hey, have you talked to Lenny? Because sometimes like we'll party and shit, and then like he either won't wake up or he doesn't plug his phone in, so he just, he'll text you like, oh, sorry, my phone's in charge. So I'm like, oh, his phone's probably not charged or whatever. And he sent me a picture. He's like, yeah, I've been in the hospital. I died last night. And I was like, oh, yeah, last night was rough, huh? He's like, no, I actually died. I was like, oh,
Holy shit.
yeah, that sucks. Damn, dude. But yeah, I mean, it's, it's one of those things. I mean, I don't know.
It's just
I definitely
like-
couldn't help him that night. I was fucked up.
It was one of those things. Like no matter what the situation is, we always try to make jokes about it and shit. I was like, yeah, I died last night. I'm
Yeah, that's how we cope with stuff.
Yeah, so.
What am I supposed to do? Oh my God, Lenny. Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. I was just like,
That
I
made
don't
it
know if I
worse.
can do this anymore. I almost died. Blah, blah, blah. No.
Yeah, I can't live this life anymore. I was mostly grateful that when he came back, he's not one of those guys now that's like, you got to live every day like it's your fucking life.
You gotta grab the bull by the horns now.
Yeah, take life by the dick. And it's like, no, don't do that. Like he wakes up for like runs every morning. It's like, oh God.
No.
Yeah, starts wearing only tank tops.
I wake up with the runs every morning, but not.
Running every morning. Is that like your preference doing it early
No,
on?
I don't even run. That was like a joke.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm saying, yeah, I hope he doesn't do that. Yeah, because if he had died and came back and became that person, I'd be like, the real Lenny died. The real Lenny died a while ago.
Black and white, like little videos. It's like
Motivational
some
speeches.
some guys talking behind me, and I'm shirtless. No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, just doing push-ups to like fucking Dwayne Johnson, just talking about doing push-ups.
I'm not motivational like that.
Yeah. Are you comfortable, by the way, how you're sitting?
I am.
You don't look it.
You don't look comfortable.
You look very
I'm good.
I would.
You want some more of these pillows?
I got a
on this
pillow
side?
back here. I'm good.
There's a couple more here.
I'm good.
Okay, just checking. Yeah, you're like, yeah, I'm comfortable.
Yeah, you're like, this is great for me.
No, I'm
He
good.
might be in a kidney stone right now. That's probably why he doesn't.
yeah. I'm not kissing you in the mouth if you fall right now.
No, I'm
Might.
good.
That's what the bomb squad is for. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all about sucking and kissing.
This is the Casa thinking about heaven and hell. So I think we can start it. We'll tease it a little bit with the game. And then
okay.
we'll go from there, right? So this. But yeah, well, thank you guys for doing that.
No,
I
it
know
was fun,
did that feel like heaven or hell? It was a
felt like
question.
a little bit of hell.
I felt like Nirvana for me.
Only because
Just
this guy's
these-
laughing with his horns.
But yeah, discuss the thinking. We want to explore, right? Like, do you have, by the way, a time that you have to be out of here by?
Oh no, my activity thing was going off.
Just
Sorry.
making sure. No, you're
No,
good.
my bad. I
You
wasn't
don't
trying to. Yeah.
apologize. I just wanna
Right
be-
the fuck now. Actually, we got it. No. I think we're good.
But on this concept of heaven and hell, they have it across religions. Like you told me that you both were raised religiously, right? Like to some degree, like Catholic, and then you said Christian Baptist, right?
Yep.
That's like the hardcore one, right?
No.
They dance with snakes down the
Yeah, no. There's different like Christianity is like a bunch of different sects, but all of them are pretty much the same. It's kind of just some have a little separate, different beliefs than the other ones do. Like some are like, oh, you're not allowed to dance, and then some are like, you can dance. Some are like, you can drink. Some you can't drink.
It's like Footloose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
I was
much.
just thinking
Yeah,
about
it's the
that,
town
yeah.
of Footloose, pretty much. But yeah, Southern Baptist is like, it's just kind of the regular,
Yeah.
Clapping in church, singing, that type of deal.
Yeah, you can. A lot of the older Southern Baptist people aren't like that.
Yeah.
But some of the newer Southern Baptists try to implement some new music and things like that.
You got like Jesus fans.
Yeah,
to cool down.
Yeah, we have the Jesus fans. But you're also not going to be in church for 3 hours. It's like because your pastor watches was like a Redskins fan or something.
there's-
So he's like, we got it.
1 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah, he's like, you know what we're talking about, right? Like, he's like, you guys get the idea, right? Look, kickoff's in like 10 minutes. You guys got this, right?
Okay.
So,
okay. Do they have the Christ on the cross or no Christ on the cross, just the cross?
Just the cross. We don't do. No, I shouldn't say that. There's some that have the crucifixion, but yeah, mostly we just have just the cross.
Yeah. And in that one, there is no saints, no anything, right?
No, so I think one of the main differences actually between Christianity and Catholicism is that Catholicism's look at like the saints and like Mary and stuff as a higher power.
Yeah.
But like for us, it's like it's just Jesus, like Jesus and God, obviously. Like we look at like obviously Mary as like a good person, the disciples, we still call them Saint Peter, they were still saints, but we don't look at them like when we have like if something happened, you did something wrong or whatever.
Yeah.
We don't have to go to our pastor and go, I did this, and he goes, okay, do your 40 Hail Marys or whatever, and then you're good to go. Like for us, it's like you bring it all to God, do your apologies or whatever.
So it's like personal and secret,
Yeah, so it's like a personal relationship with Christ. There's no like middleman. There's still the pastor. Obviously, the pastor's just there to kind of lead you.
Does the pastor like fuck everybody's wife as well in this one or no?
You know what's really funny? I actually went to a church where a pastor, he got caught cheating on his wife with someone else's wife. So yeah,
Oh damn.
it happened. I mean, it happens to everybody. So
Yeah.
it's not kids though. No. At least not a kid.
Okay, so this
absolutely
is the one about heaven and hell. We'll go with Catholicism because I know a little bit as well about Catholicism. But what do you, and maybe you both can tell me about this. Is there any different thing that per that religion versus the Catholic religion that grants you, permission into heaven or hell, or is it like, do they both have the same rules that they just worship differently?
I think
as
with
far as,
Catholicism, it is way harder to get into heaven, easier to get into hell. Like the guilt and all that shit.
Yeah. So I think like with Christianity, at least, it's all about like, Christianity is literally you're accepting you're not perfect, and so when people like that's why I hate. I'm not trying to go off on a tangent. Like people like Joel Osteen and stuff, and they're like, if you just pray for money and you just pray for this and you just do what you got to do, and then give me that money, then you'll be happy and you'll go to heaven with God. And it's like that's not true at all. Like you're gonna mess up, and when you mess up, you just have to, repent, and then we serve a forgiving God, so forgives you, and then you kind of keep it moving.
How can you? So let's say somebody's a serial killer. Mm-hmm. Could they, in their mind, have that like because nobody's, and that's the one thing that I've mostly gathered, from Christianism versus Catholicism, that there's no central management, right? Like where it's like you can, like. And once again, I don't know about it. Sometimes when you hear about these cults that have gone rogue, it's not the Catholic churches. They have their huge issues, right? But it's this lack of like, I don't know, checks and balances maybe? Because what stops a serial killer from being like, yeah, I'm sorry, and God is telling me that I'm good, Like,
Yeah.
Well, I think it's more of a. I'm not trying to talk the whole time. Sorry. So like some of the disciples were like tax collectors and like back then, which was a horrible thing, and like bad people and stuff like that. People that followed. It's not just like people always are like, oh, well, if I killed someone, I can just be like, oh, sorry, and then you're fine. It's like no, like it's not that. Like you're repenting. Like you're like, I know I did wrong, but like in Christianity, every sin's the same. So like if I steal from you, it's the exact same as if I murdered you, and like how we were like it's all the same. So
I mean, with Catholicism, you have confession. So if you confess, you have to you give penance and then give penance, and then you're absolved of your sins. So
yeah, but see, for us, like I don't know if it's the same, but like Catholicism, it sounds like the
you could do pretty much anything, and as long as you went to confession and you got you were absolved by the priest, and
repentance is more of
clean
like
slate.
Yeah, repentance is more of like, if I stole from you and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, but I keep stealing, then you really haven't repented because you're still doing it. But repentance is actually oh God, like I messed up, like I'm sorry, everything you gotta do, ask for forgiveness, all that stuff, and then you don't do it anymore. That's why people get confused. They're like, well, I can just kill people, and then right before I die, I'll just say, oh, I'm sorry. It's like that's not really how it works. But
I always felt like growing up, like I remember like I punched out pretty quick because I always felt like it was like a form of control. And everything like you always felt like you were doing something wrong, and it was like they would make everything kind of shameful, and you feel guilty everything.
Is it good to feel guilty, you think?
No, it sucks. It's terrible. Like who wants to feel guilty?
Yeah.
No, I mean,
yeah,
it's terrible. I remember I remember this is when I kind of like bailed out real quick. I had to be like 7 or 8, maybe 9 years old. And I told like a little white lie to my mom because
What was the lie?
I didn't want to catch a smack. Like she had like this press clipping of like a person she knew in like a photo album, and I pulled it out and I wanted to read it, and I couldn't get it back in without fucking it up. So I fucked it up, and then she asked me, she's like, "Did you pull this out?" And I was like, "No, I didn't pull it out." And then she's like, "You're a liar. You're gonna go to hell because you're lying to me." And I'm just like, I'm 9 years old. It's a fucking press clipping. I'm gonna burn for eternity because I did that and I lied about it. Right then and there, I was just like, boop.
So you're saying you shouldn't feel guilty for lying?
You should feel guilty. I mean, but for like a little white lie like that because you just didn't want to get hit. I'm like, what kind of a God would send me to an eternity of hell?
That's like an old school because I get what you're saying because like my
then I began to see it as a form of control to be like, hey, if you don't do this, you're gonna go to hell. If you don't do this right, you're gonna go to hell. If you covet your neighbor's wife, you're gonna burn in hell. I gave up. I'm not trying to live my life no, I shouldn't enjoy my life because I don't want to go to hell. And then 44 years later, I find out there is no hell. It's nice.
It is. It's our address where you live. I think it's definitely people definitely use religion as a way to control. Like Lenny said, growing up, especially when you're young, your biggest thing is like you have that fear of like, oh my God, like after I die, what happens or this. But like the way I was raised, kind of not really like that, but like the way I kind of understand it. And a pastor I always would go to, with us, it's more of a relationship with Christ, not like this is my boss and I got to do everything he tells me to do. Because the whole thing about Christianity is you're accepting that you're born into sin. And the only way to get into heaven is to accept Christ as your Lord and Savior. And then obviously do the best you can. No one's perfect. I mean, I lie all the time. I cheat. I steal. I'm like Eddie Guerrero over here, with some Latino heat.
Kurt Henning's perfect.
Yeah, you're right. Kurt Hennig was perfect, so I can't say that. But yeah. So we don't. I mean, when it's kind of hard to say. There's no such thing as a real Christian, I guess. But like
a
devout Christian. Yeah. When you go watch these people on TV and they're telling you all this stuff, and they're like, and that's what a lot of people get their mindset from Christianity is. Is like you're watching someone on TV or someone that said they go to church said something racist. Someone that says they go to church, something that, or something that goes to church judged me for that. Like that's another thing too. Like if you judge someone, that's a sin. It's not your position to judge. That's why I always tell people.
So fuck the police,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fuck 12. But like our whole purpose in life is just to, try and be, live up to Christ. Do what we're supposed to do, help other people. Try to bring people to him, all that stuff.
So it's like a guideline in a way. It's more than a rule.
Well, the thing too is so like the like with laws and stuff, people always bring up laws. There's Old Testament and the New Testament.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people don't understand is the Old Testament was written by people. Well, like the laws and stuff. And it was given by God, these things, because when Jesus came the first time, it was to abolish all that and show that he was the new law. It's like when he came down, like the whole thing about working on Sundays, that's Old Testament. That was old. Like God was like, don't work on Sundays. It's the day of rest.
Yeah.
And then when Jesus came, that was to abolish that, become the new law. And he got in trouble because like the whole thing for him being crucified was because he did things that the higher up in religion people didn't enjoy. The Pharisees.
Yeah, which religion?
Do I?
Which religion specifically are you talking about?
So like Pharisees and stuff like that. Yeah, sorry, Pharisees. I thought you said which religion. I was like, I don't know what which religion is. No. But like, yeah, so like he would preach on Sundays and they'd be like, you're not supposed to do that. Like that's old laws. Like you're not, he's like, I'm, the new law. That's like, so people are like, it's a law, it's a guideline. It's like, yeah, but it's also, it doesn't take, a Bible shouldn't tell you to not kill people. You just shouldn't kill people. But it's more of like, the relationship and things like that. So,
yeah.
But people do 100% use religion to control. But people use sex to control. People use food to control.
Yeah. Is it good to control children during their development?
This is where I have an issue, like indoctrinate. I call it's indoctrination. It's just like you want your children to follow you. I feel like it should be a choice. If my sons decided they wanted to be like I was baptized and like I didn't want to do any of the rest of the confirmation. I didn't want to do that.
Did you do a first communion?
I did not.
You guys do that as babies, right?
What?
Do you guys do that as babies or is that?
Yeah. Baptism, yeah. I remember seeing a photo of me in a white tux, looking like fucking Tattoo from Fantasy Island.
You look like Fisk, probably.
Yeah, right. So
Daredevil.
Like, so I was like, I didn't want to like impose it upon my kid. We baptized my first son. Like we did that, and it was pulling teeth for me. But my wife at the time was like, no, we got to do it. Like, her family was pushing her to do it. And
happy wife, happy life, right?
It should, you think so, but no. But her family was putting pressure on her to do it, all this other stuff. And it's just like, I said, let it be a choice. And my second son went through none of that. It should be a choice. If he wants to grow up and he said, hey, you know what? I dig this Jewish religion. Go into it.
Was your second son with the same lady?
Yeah.
And how did she take it?
She was a little upset.
From the
back. She was upset, but at the same time, it's just like, we raised two good kids, like, without using the Bible as a guide.
Yeah, did you hit them?
I done it to them once each. It wasn't like I was like abusive or anything like that. No. You caught them doing certain things and you
spank them. Let's just say spank
quick
them.
spank. You catch one, and it's just like, Yeah, they learned.
Yeah.
But no, like I said, and it's not because they're mine, but we raised two solid, humble men.
How would you say the difference is between the fear of the spanking versus the fear of God as a tool for raising children?
The fear of the spanking was more powerful for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew not to do certain things because if I came home, I was gonna a 5'2" little woman was gonna come
me
across
too,
the side
man.
of
I
my
got
head
spanked
with
as
a
a
frying
kid.
pan or something like that.
A frying pan.
Yeah, no, I'm joking.
You
But,
got like beat like Tom and Jerry, dude.
my mother raised me to be afraid of no one.
Yeah.
And if you are going to be afraid of someone in this world, it was going to be her.
Okay.
And so that's how I grew up. But I never went out because I never said I'm not going to do this because you know what, God's watching. No, I never had that mentality. I was like, I'm not going to do this because if I get caught, I'm going to get knocked the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
So that was that was my guideline.
I hear you.
Right and wrong with my mom.
I like it. How about you, Hunter? And we'll continue on this, Lenny. What was your guideline as growing up? You were raised. Do you think that the religiousness or the fear of God, let's say, had any impact on your behavior and growing up?
Yeah, when I was growing up, we were kind of made to go to church growing up. But when you're a kid, I mean, what else your parents are going to leave you at home while they're
yeah, of course.
But there comes a time when you're like, okay, I'm older now. Do I want to go to church? Do I want to go to church?
Mm-hmm.
If I do go to church, do I have to? And there's a whole different thing about that. But I think going back to the forcing thing, forcing anything on anybody is a bad idea. Because then you go to resent it. They always make joke. Everyone makes joke about the preacher's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole bit about she was forced to stay home, forced to this, and now she's older. Now she's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just a rebellion thing. But yeah, I got spanked as a kid. We got my mom had a metal spoon that she would also use to cook with.
Oof.
Yeah. She'd have ass spaghetti that night.
Why is there hair in my spaghetti?
Yeah. So we would get beat for sure. Not beat. I shouldn't say that.
But that's
we
just
would
a normal word. It's like, I don't want to get beat.
Yeah, we grew up in the
yeah.
South. I mean, she grew up, they had the switch, spare the rod, spoil the child. It's, I think growing up, I definitely had a fear of both. I definitely had a fear of, because spankings are immediate.
Yeah.
And, God is obviously,
He'll get you later.
yeah.
He'll do it.
Just waiting for it. Ooh, that's going to hurt when it happens. Yeah, I definitely would say I definitely had the fear of the spanking a lot. But I still have the fear of God and stuff like that.
Okay, I hear you.
But I don't, I hope I don't get spanked anymore.
Do you in the back of your mind
for
think
that
that,
action,
you can apologize later so you're Gucci for right now?
What-
Or repent to God, like you said that you have a little bit of fear in God, right? But that you still,
Well,
we're all flawed beings, right?
I shouldn't say not. It's not a fear I'm afraid. It's a fear of
Yeah.
the wording is fear. It's like love and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do stuff I've been cussing this whole podcast.
Yeah. Is that against the religion?
That I actually don't know. I know you're not supposed to take the Lord's name in vain.
Yeah.
But the actual cussing, that's always been confusing to me because that's always been confusing me and stuff with cussing. But anyway, so I definitely try to I definitely don't do something and be like, just worry about it later.
Yeah.
But it's also if I steal something, I'm not, because I am, Christian and everything else, except that that's the way that you're supposed to do it. I don't think that's going to send you to hell because of that. And that goes back to being controlled. Well, you do this, you're going to hell.
Yeah.
Well, it's more than that, but
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Do you think, so for example, right? And thank you for that answer, by the way. And I always think of this as I see it as a tool mostly, right? Because I do think it is a control thing, definitely. And the reason why I asked you both earlier about the guilt thing, right? Because it's okay, if your mom is not there, or doesn't see, or there's repercussions for you spanking your ass, especially as you become an adult, right?
Yeah.
You both seem to have grown up like good men, right? But what is there any plan B, or is there any kind of thing that would stop you from just going buck wild if there are really no consequences in anything?
like lawless, like total anarchy.
Yeah. Like, well, for example, like, you try to be mindful, Hunter, for example, right? Like, that to go along with your faith, right? You want to be a good person of your faith, right? And on your side, Lenny, right? Like, if you weren't Lenny, well, could you see how maybe that could be? I mean, do criminals even keep this in the back of their mind, if they're really just like, oh, well, I shouldn't be doing this, but I have to?
I think it goes, if it comes to that, it becomes like survival of the fittest. Like if I know this person's weak and they have what I need or what I want, yeah, I could take them out. I have no problem.
I think
with that.
Wow.
I think. Do you think that he's talking about like an apocalyptic world?
No, I'm just talking about
Or just everyday life. You
like
just go kill someone.
like a lawless, like purge type world.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Damn, dude.
He's like survival.
No,
of the
he's saying
fittest.
like if you like, let's say you knew there's nothing after that. Like just say like
Oh.
no doubts, no matter what. You just like if I kill someone, doesn't mean shit. Like it doesn't. You still
Yeah.
get arrested. You still go to jail.
Honestly, this whole thing, and I'm not like trying to go back like to me doting on this whole thing, but me not seeing anything, it changed a lot of shit.
oh my god, he's gonna kill me.
okay.
That's right. He's gonna kill me. He's gonna murder me.
I don't like.
I have
like,
this wood thing he wants. He's gonna murder me.
because there was always that you not knowing, like there was
Yeah.
always like you feel like, oh man, I shouldn't do this because you know what? Maybe there is a heaven, or maybe I will be punished and judged and all that.
Yeah.
But it's just like after seeing what I didn't see, that's how I say I didn't see anything. So they were like, so what I didn't see is just like, no, I'm gonna do this because what the hell? I'm gonna live the rest of my days doing what the fuck I want. So
Okay, so let's dig into this. Like, so what was the change? How did you feel before? How did you feel after that?
Before, like you sit there and like before you when you want something or you need something or you want somebody to be better, you like you mutter like a little like "Yeah, help me out here,"
Yeah.
But like now it's just like if someone needs help, like I'm not gonna like, or if you're not feeling well, or
Yeah.
if like they're sick and they say send some prayer, I'm not gonna pray. No, I'm like, why am I gonna waste my time? Thoughts in person? No, I have no time for that now. I don't want to be like get into like religious conversations anymore. Like,
Okay, like what do you mean?
like I would have these conversations with people who were either atheists, they were agnostic, or they were super religious. Now I'm thinking it as like we're here because it's like I'm thinking of the science of it. I'm like it's just an absolutely mathematical, ridiculous odds that we're here. Like certain like things had to be like this planet, blah 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 blah. You're like one in like a trillion sperm from your dad's nuts. It's all about odds. So you're winning like a lottery. We've won lotteries just to be here. That's how I'm seeing things now. I'm like, all right, I'm here because you know what? I'm my mom and my dad's fucking genetic lottery. Like I hit it. Like I got the fucking the Powerball to come through. But like now it's just like, okay, I'm here. My goal in life is to survive and ensure the survival of my offspring. And make sure like now I'm talking to my kids all the time. I'm just like hey. Whatever you guys need, blah, blah, blah. I want to see you. I want to spend time with you, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's like, it's all about them and like, ensuring like, they have their kids and like, scientifically, my genes pass on to them and then their genes and your name and bloodline continues.
So kidney stones all the way down the line.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Because we rock. But,
Oh god, I wish you had died. You came back to life just for that.
Yeah.
God.
use this line. No.
Yeah.
So now I see everything as like, just you're here. You don't have a purpose. So like, just like, you don't have like a godly purpose to be here. You're not meant to. Just be a good person, live a good life, do what you want to do within legal limits and moderation. Have fun, love, do what you want to do. Don't fucking spend your whole time bickering about what you don't have and like, what the other one has. I remember like, just like, when I went back to work and I'm like, oh, I don't want to go to work. But then I was thinking about it. You fucking died. I was just like, stop complaining, be grateful. So that's how I see it now. Now I'm just grateful for every little thing.
Okay, I hear that.
Because it's going to happen. This is like lights on, lights off, and then there's nothing you can do. And then you have your funeral, people will cry. 2 weeks later, they're going about their lives. And, everything gets back to normal real quick.
Jeez, dark.
Yeah, that's I love the positive message. Do you think it's a potential that you just went to hell, for your choice, or you were on your way and you didn't see anything?
I don't know. Like, I didn't think about it. Like there's supposed to be like some type of like from all that you read and from all that you hear in discussions and things like that, there's something there to let you know that you crossed over. And there was absolutely nothing, no feeling, no consciousness at all.
What's the difference between? Are you sure that you weren't just unconscious, like when you go to sleep? You know, or
My
were you
brother told me
actually
for
dead?
3 minutes, my heart wasn't going, I wasn't breathing,
Yeah.
my pupils dilated, all that stuff.
Oh, like your eyes were open?
This is what he told me. He was like, I just kept trying to get you off for 3 to 4 minutes. You were not responding to any stimulus or anything like stimuli, anything like that.
What did the doctor say? Happened?
Doctor was just like, it was an electrical disruption in my heart, kind of like the Damar Hamlin thing.
Yeah.
And your heart just stopped.
Yeah. So your heart stops. It stops supplying oxygen to your brain.
Yeah.
Via the blood.
So your
your brain couldn't run.
Yeah. So when you hear that, like, they say, like, you're supposed to have like chemical reactions in your brain where you see like lights and stuff like that. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And it's scary, but in the sense that, that it's over. That's the fear of it all. But if that's how it is, there's no pain. It's like, it's just going to sleep. It's peaceful.
I mean, in that scenario, there's no pain. I'm sure there's very painful scenarios.
And I think like if you were to go to hell, hell is like instant. Like from the second you got there, it's hell, and you're gonna burn for eternity, and it's gonna be it's gonna be torturous.
Okay, I want to go into this, right? Like perfect, because thank you that you just mentioned it, and thank you for being so vulnerable.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Also, it could have been, I don't know, this is your thing.
Dr. Hunter.
Yeah, let me give you a synopsis. What actually happened? I actually did some research after this happened because I wanted to kind of get an idea because it is strange that nothing happened because there should at least be, because there's actually been reports of like you should at least have like DMT or something released in your brain, whether you believe in God or not. There should be something in your brain that does something that puts you like in a dream state or something. It doesn't just go just black. Supposedly, I mean, I haven't died, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I rock. It could have. I personally, I mean, it could have been. There was still some. I've looked it up. Like there could still be brain activity, even if like your heart stops for a while, which could have been it. It could have been, one of those things where like it's not your time. If you believe in that whole thing or whatever. But like, I'm not saying if he doesn't see anything, he doesn't see anything. That's whatever. I'm still gonna believe what I believe. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It doesn't really affect me anything. But like, it could have been. There's also been reports of people that died that said they did see light. They say, I saw a light, I saw things, someone was by my bed being like, hey, come on, or like, hey, you need to wait. It's not your time yet. So it could have been, like I said, it could have been that. Could the brain not been dead all the way? But again, death is one of those things none of us are really going to know until we're dead for a while.
We got to watch Flatliners. Like,
You got to watch what?
that old movie Flatliners where they kill themselves for like a certain amount
Yeah,
of time.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that movie was dumb.
I think they did a remake.
They
or
did.
they did. It was
something.
like
Yeah.
2000 or something, yeah.
But
Like the Lazarus Project, is that what it's called?
Maybe. I
I
don't
think
know.
they did a remake. It was like,
it's just, I don't know. It's just like there was nothing there. And it's like, again, I'm not one to say, hey, this is going to happen. This is maybe it was my thing or whatever. But it does change you.
Yeah.
The only thing was the fear. And then like, you ever like, there's like a...
I said, was closing in the fear?
Yeah,
or-
it's like
what if the
that whole-
fear was you going
the
like
shadows of,
down?
like, the
until
corners.
your body was like,
Yeah.
oh, shit,
Everything
like-
from like your peripherals was just like, it was coming in like a fade to black. And then that's it.
Because some would say that black is the opposite of light.
Maybe. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, like.
But I mean, but it's what I mentioned about the brain activity is the thing that you still remember it. I feel like if you didn't remember that, then that would be like, oh yeah, you died. But for you to be able to remember something, your brain has to be still moving, like still doing stuff.
It's weird because
Yeah.
like when you have a dream and they say if you remember the dream, then it's like not a dream or some shit like that. I don't know.
haven't heard that one.
I've never heard that.
I've read some shit like that.
I've heard like you have like multiple dreams and then like,
Yeah.
But yeah, I've heard that.
after 6 minutes is when your brain really dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like you
brain
lose
death.
brain cells, and then it's like 6 or 7 minutes. So that's why you're like, I was only at 3 or 4. I'm like, maybe you still have some brain activity. That's why, and that's why you remember things so well. But then again, I don't know. I wasn't there.
Like the last thing I remember
Listen,
is just,
like the fact that saying that I died gets you more pussies, so I fully support.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know, like,
it's just
If anything, you just become zombie Lenny now.
yeah.
You
it's
just taste
just a
for
weird
brains.
thing. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm just grateful. I'm not trying to tell people, hey, how to live your lives, but
Are you in a relationship currently?
no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm a single dude.
Now,
Looking for love.
do you plan to have any more kids? Like, if you met like the right woman and she's like, "I want a kid," would you have a kid?
I feel like I'm a little older. That now, like in 6 years, I'm going to be 50. So if I have a 6-year-old at like 50 years old,
Yeah.
by the time he graduates high
What if
school,
next year she's like, the woman of your dreams?
I would want to enjoy time with her. Like I would want to find someone. Like if you want a kid, no, because I don't know how long I'm gonna be around. Like, I'm like,
Yeah, literally, he has no idea.
It would suck to like leave like the woman of your dreams like with a kid and like she has to go through the hardship of raising the child alone.
Okay, what if she's like, okay, let's steer away from the kid part. She's like, Lenny, you're great or whatever. Like you can believe whatever you want to believe, but I want you to go with me to Catholic mass on Sunday.
I would go. I've gone to church like afterwards and things like that. Like I don't disrespect religion.
You went to church and be like, these suckers.
I would like look at you schmoes tithing. What's wrong with you? Take your money back. No, but I'd go just to go. I'm very respectful. Like if Hunter said, "Hey man, I'm going to start going to church. I really like you." Go, yeah, sure. Why not? Let's go. Get something to eat after? Yeah, definitely.
Of course, dude. We're Southern Baptists. We're gonna get something to eat. If there's not food there, we're getting something to eat afterwards.
But yeah, like I'm not anti-religion, but like there was a time where like when you're like an angsty teen and you're listening to 9 Inch Nails and like you're just like the total atheist and like you're militant about it. It's just like that's how I was growing up. But then it's like now it's just like I think there's got to be something out there but I put it to bed now. I'm just like no, I don't have any time for these theological discussions, and it's like I'll do it. Like I'll talk about it if you want to talk about it. But
obviously, we're going on a podcast like that's an hour. You've been talking about it.
I'm not putting any stock in religion anymore. So
I hear you. Yeah. So stock in God is all time low. But this more like we with the go ahead.
And if you think about it, it's just like us as humans, we just ruin everything. We took something so good as the idea of a God and like being a loving God and just taking it and doing all these wars and killing in his name and all this. We just fuck everything up.
Yeah,
we really do. We just fuck everything up. The idea of a man coming down here, Jesus, all about love each other. That's all he was about. Love it. And what do they do to him? They torture him, like, for I don't know how many hours. They scourge him. They make him drag his cross all the way up to Golgotha, and then they crucify him and kill him. Why? He was just telling you to love each other.
Had to happen.
And we suck. We suck.
Survival of the fittest, as you said.
Exactly.
But but thank you for the insight as well. Like, this is not a conversion therapy, so don't you worry about that.
I'm not worried about that.
But it's more the concept of heaven and hell. And I was thinking about this the other day, right? I don't consider myself a religious person. Like my concept of what you would call God is probably, not as. A lot of these religions have like an anthropomorphic like entity that has a will or like a way, right? Like it's not necessarily what I subscribe to, But I was raised Catholic, so I can say I'm sorry right before I die.
There you go. Yeah, that's the whole thing.
But the concept of heaven and hell, right? And it's one of those things where it's like, okay. I was thinking about it. What if it's like a concept of like, what's the selection, right? That you were good and that you subscribe to all these things, right? Like that you did, like there seems to be one path, right? Like heaven, and in some places it's purgatory, right? And in some places it's hell, right? But outside of the whole like harps and the fire and whatever, right? Okay, if you're selecting, if you're like letting people into a club or something, right? Okay, everybody that follows the rules or whatever is gonna go here, right? Let's take it like a city, like into this gated community, like there's, nobody's gonna lie, cheat, and steal from you. You can leave your doors unlocked, right? Then you have the other end, right? It's like, okay, let's say you're like, like the criminals here, right? Okay, you're once again, and this is without any like, we're making this place full of fire, we're making this place full of clouds and harps, right? We're just gonna group the people together. Okay, you didn't want. Okay, well here you are with all your peeps, and then the purgatory route. It's like, well, you weren't quite here, like there's too much risk to put you in here with this other group. We're gonna either put you with other people that we don't know about, and maybe you go into this neighborhood, into this other neighborhood. And then if, let's say, you're moving somewhere, right? What would the society or the neighborhood that you're moving into develop into if you're selecting for these traits, right? Like, and then I was thinking, what if it's, the concept is more like that, if there was an afterlife and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, maybe maybe your consciousness is going, into another dimension, another planet or whatever. And it's like you go into a planet, like where everybody's like, like a utopia. And then you go into this other planet where it's like, Mad Max,
Yeah.
and, so I was thinking about that, and let's kick it off to you, Hunter. What do you think we'll go through? And once again, Lenny, you don't believe in it, but if you were gonna say
I
something
have
about
opinions
it,
on it.
right? Like Hunter, what do you think heaven is, or what is what do you think? If you had to guess, like what does it look like? What kind of food do you eat there? What kind of leisure activities are you gonna do?
So the way heaven is, I'm pretty sure described as is. So a lot of people like, I'll do hell too, but people think that like heaven is like, okay, now you get to be in a big pasture or whatever, walk around, see all your friends, whatever you want. You want ice cream all day? Guess what? You get ice cream all day. You want to, have orgies and all that stuff? Guess what? You got it. You deserved it.
You can have orgies in heaven?
Yeah,
No, that's what.
Whoa. That sounds
So, see, Lenny's back on board. No, heaven is a place that you're spending. So, like, I'm probably wrong. I'm probably not wrong, but I'm probably misquoting this. But like, so pretty much after everything, you go to heaven. It's a place of like worship and stuff. So it's not, you're not just out and about all day.
So it's like church. You're going to heaven as church, 24/7.
Not necessarily, but it's meant to like you're meant to like be with God and worship God and like all this other stuff. And people, it's not like in the movies where someone dies and now I'm in a white robe and now I'm gonna, like I said, hang out.
I don't know what heaven you're going to. You're in a white robe and a
pointed
white hood.
Yeah, no, my heaven, no. But it's been as like a place of worship and like the streets of gold and things like that. It's like a beautiful like place that's like you're just there. And then after I can't remember if this is actually in the Bible or if it's from that Amazing Grace song, but like after like a certain amount of years after all said and done, then like he comes down and creates a new earth and like all this other stuff. But that I'm probably confused. But
okay, so it's like it's not like the end, like heaven. It's like
yeah, and then like I said, I might be confused on this because it's been a while since I've kind of read the Bible and stuff. But like he's supposed to like create a new world, and it's supposed to be like as it was the first time before we screwed up.
okay.
So, but again, I might be misquoting things. And I know, and then hell is like, people always think hell is like, you go to hell and there's the devil on this big throne. He's torturing you and stuff. But hell is a place of like a prison. He's down there being tortured as well. Like after the rapture and stuff and the Great War and all those things like that, he's not down there poking you with a stick. He's next to you in the lake of fire burning because it's like all the angels that followed him.
So is God torturing the devil then in this scenario?
No. So like when...
sounds like it. It sounds like it.
So I guess that's why I'm misquoting. So like pretty much what happened was everyone's in heaven, all the angels and God and stuff.
Yeah.
But angels had, and I'm obviously not the person to be, you call it like a
there's a
pastor.
civil
Go to
war,
talk pastor or
and
whatever. Yeah. And he thought, Lucifer thought he was better than God.
Yeah, the highest angel.
He was one of the highest angels. Like it was him and the archangel Michael, like that. And so after that, he like took a bunch of angels down with him and thought he was better than God. Yeah, and then came down to earth and like all these horrible things. But hell is a place, of punishment. It's like this. This is the way. This is how it's supposed to be.
But that implies that somebody's doling out the punishment. Is there not?
I mean, it's just a lake of fire. No one's like poking you or nothing like that. Like it's the same thing. People like there's like it's consequences. Like there's consequences to everything. So, like I said, probably a Bible scholar could tell you a lot more than I can, or probably build answer.
No. This is because of the thinking. There are no answers. We're not gonna solve this.
He's not down there. Like right now, like the devil's not in hell right now. Like hell's somewhere you go to, and like you're wrong. You weren't Christian or whatever. You're being tortured and all this other thing. The devil's not down there poking you and with his little pointy tail and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In fact, the Bible describes the devil as like a beautiful person. He's like they say like devil's like in earth like corrupting people and telling you to do these things.
Okay.
And then like in Revelation happens and the war, end times. Yeah. And like after the war is over and he's defeated, then he's sent down to hell. It's punishment. Like that's Like that's why I always taught growing up. Like that's like the losing side. He's still the more people he get, it's the whole thing. So
Well, what wouldn't he like? Like if he was an angel, right, and he got sent there with like a bunch of rebel angels, why wouldn't they build some infrastructure, right? Like where they're like, hey, okay, fuck it, we'll do our own way, all right? Like,
Well, Dante did that. Like, there's like levels of hell. And
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just know that.
and I know
it's
there's
just
like
one.
like,
It's just
like there's
and this is
like,
not about knowledge, it's more like your idea, and that's what I'm
Yeah.
just asking about.
Yeah, yeah.
I've read that there's like generals of like hell and stuff like that. Like certain.
yeah. I mean, during the war there will be, but like other than that, everyone's the same, and it's just for eternity, just burning for eternity, forever pain.
Yeah, I mean that's that's interesting. Burning. What do you think? Like it's the why not drowning? Why not?
I
torture?
feel like it's heaven and hell are like personalized. I don't know if you've seen that movie Star Trek Generations.
Yeah.
The Nexus wave.
Yeah.
So when you hit the Nexus wave, you're in your own personal joy and bliss.
Yeah.
So your heaven could be spending a lot of spending time with a loved one or spending
Orgies,
time with your
as
family.
Hunter just said.
If that's
yeah.
his heaven, yeah, exactly. His heaven is
yeah.
orgies.
I don't.
Then
That's too much work. I don't want that.
But no, I feel like if there was heaven and hell, like that's how it would be. It would be tailor made to what your idea of pure joy and pure bliss is, and then for hell, what your own personal you would see like loved ones tortured constantly, or you relive your.
Oh, that would be terrible. Yeah.
You relive
someone punching your grandma over and over.
you relive your worst personal moment over, or personal loss over and over, or stuff like that. That's what I would feel is pain. Like you're being tortured. Like eventually you're gonna get all right, let's do this. You get your lashes in the back. You just all right. But yeah, to see if I saw my kids being flayed every day, and you can't do nothing about that is 1,000 times worse than any hell you can imagine.
Do you feel happy that now you don't believe in anything afterwards? So that now it's like
Now it's just I feel we're all okay. We're all okay.
Have you seen the movie What Dreams May Come with
Yes, I have.
Robin Williams?
Oh,
Don't get us started. on
No,
Robin
I haven't
Williams.
seen it. No.
I've seen it. It's a sad movie. It's
Yeah.
sad. It makes you think a lot, but it's just one of those things. And then you can look at it from a funny aspect, where the heavenly kid. I don't know if you've seen that 80s film.
I haven't.
Guy in the 50s dies, finds out he has a kid, and in order for him to get to heaven, he's got to stay heaven and hell are it's called uptown is heaven, downtown is hell. And you're stuck in a train station, which is purgatory, and you have to do a good deed. So
It's a very New York
it's very
type of.
So you have to go. You have to go back to Earth and do a good deed and help out. Then you get to go uptown, and it's all that stuff. But I think, like I said, it's personalized. So what your idea of pure joy or pure
So
hell.
pure hell, personalized. Whereas yours is much more traditional Hunter, right? Fiery pit,
Yeah, it's like an eternal darkness and just place of
Okay, it's square for me. Fiery pit and eternal darkness, because you'd think that fire creates light.
It's
right?
called the Lake of Fire. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if they could harness that fire. Because fire's a lot of energy. By the way, if this makes you uncomfortable, let me know.
I just don't have all the answers, so I don't know.
No. Neither do we. This is
I'm not
This is not a
uncomfortable.
religious show.
I'm not comfortable at all. I'm just if you really want an answer, I don't know. You have to talk to an
yeah.
actual pastor stuff. I'm just going by what I remember from when I was younger and stuff. So
I feel they're all ideas. They're
Yeah.
all the idea of heaven, the idea of hell.
I think against every religion, there's for the most part, everyone's kind of got the same
Yeah.
idea. There's torture and bliss.
what is it with Islam? Is it 72
virgins, which
72
sounds like
virgins.
torture.
So
Yeah.
But they don't tell you if it's men or women. You could be out there with 72
Yeah.
dudes.
There's
yeah.
that. What's that? A cartoon? I think.
Just
or
bro
something?
down. Yeah, it's like it's Family Guy one. Yeah, you just bro down with 72 virgins forever. Yeah. But then here's the thing too. They're here's what I ever said. And I'm not making fun of anybody religion or anything like that. But the 72 virgins, they only be virgins for so long. Then it's just 72 women. Then you're just
then it becomes hell.
Yeah, then it's just hell. Yeah, then it's just hell. You gotta make plans with them and So yeah, that's how
Taking out the trash 72 times.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think virgins are overrated. Me
Yeah, I don't see
Yeah,
the
don't you want
appeal of
72 women that know what they're doing?
Exactly. It's do you like watching a game where you know every play in the fucking game?
Yeah.
No. You want to be surprised. Holy
Variety.
shit.
Yeah.
That's
variety.
a lot of toothy blowjobs, I feel like.
Yeah. Maybe that's what heaven is, just a perfect blowjob over and over.
I feel like I would get bored. Like there's got to be something else to do. I'm just like, all right.
Yeah.
It's one of those
Okay.
things. You can get what you want all the time. You're never. People always say, "Oh, money to buy happiness." Like,
I
yeah,
just-
if you could buy all you
How's
want.
your jaw? Is your jaw okay? Like, you know.
Do you want me to
so-
do you now?
yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to, but I'll do it. I guess. Yeah.
Let's go into that, Lenny. If you believe in the concept of heaven, what would you want your heaven to be?
Oh man, just hanging out with my four brothers and my two sons.
So you want them all to die if you go to heaven?
Well, if you know, no, it would be like maybe
Okay,
it
just
would be
checking.
avatars of them.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
me be hanging out, but us all spending time together. My parents like sitting in the back, just like them doing their things, laughing and pointing at us or whatever,
Yeah.
and just sitting with it, like my kids and my nephews and all that stuff, and just all just goofing on each other because that's how. Those were the best times for me growing up
Yeah.
when we were all together, laughing, roasting each other, all the other stuff. I don't need any material things, anything like that. Just just quality time.
Quality
like,
time,
like,
okay.
like a holiday, like a nice Thanksgiving dinner. You're sitting
Yeah,
there
like a
eating-
barbecue.
Yeah, every
yeah.
day in day out. You know.
Some reggaeton in the background.
Yeah, well, yeah, you could do that.
Constant gabagool just all the time.
But yeah, something like that. And hell would just be to see them. You go and you see them tortured one by one, and you're stuck in a room. And you that's like hell.
Yeah,
you
that
can do-
is.
you-
Yeah,
He keeps on his family members being tortured. What's hell for your other family? Remember, you get tortured. I don't know.
But seeing the ones you love get hurt, it's
Yeah.
you'd rather take that upon yourself, and then it doesn't become hell because you feel like you're still saving them. So
Yeah. Would you like have an experience what you've experienced, in relation to your family, right? Children, whatever. Would you like there to be something afterwards?
yeah, seeing the Bears win the Super Bowl every fucking night, seeing and reliving
Oh, that's definitely far fetched.
reliving little personal triumphs and joys and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
So let's say to your children, have you told them that you're like, yeah, there's nothing after this?
I told my older son.
Yeah.
I still kind of shelter my youngest because I feel
Yeah.
like he's like a baby, but he's not a baby. He's 16 years old, but at the same time, it's just he's my baby.
Yeah.
But the older one, we have those talks, and we talk up things like that, and he's mature enough to handle that. So
Yeah.
yeah, we talk about things like that.
Is there any chance you're wrong, like to where Hunter said, where you might not actually be?
I hope I'm
thing?
wrong.
And then in that case, how is that not in a way almost leading similarly to the opposite of religion and being like, this is what happens?
I hope I'm wrong because it's just if people put so much stock and belief into it, and
Yeah.
they're living their lives piously and doing it. I hope there's some reward for them just for living a life like that.
Yeah.
But like I said, I didn't see-
maybe living a life like that is its own reward.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I feel because I didn't I'm not saying I had the best life growing up, but I didn't have
Yeah.
a total shitty, hard life.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just okay, it's time to go to sleep, and maybe that's that could be my interpretation of going to heaven, going to bed. All right, good night.
Nice.
So I don't know. It's just one of those things where you don't know, but at the same time, the logical side takes over. And you're just no, you just lights out.
Yeah.
And that's it.
So if you were to, if you had the power to say, this is what I want, this is what heaven is, you would make that for everybody.
Oh,
Be
totally.
like,
You
you
would-
can have whatever you want.
Yeah,
you know.
it's like a buffet. I'll have some of this. I'll have some of that.
What if it's a serial killer and he just likes murdering people?
I'm pretty sure his idea of heaven is just whatever rush he gets out of taking the life out of
Yeah.
somebody.
So it's like a personalized matrix in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I
okay.
feel like it's all tailor made. Exactly.
Yeah, okay. I like it, Hunter. If you were to do now, there's the religion that you get told what heaven is, right? But two questions. What do you think? And I think you kind of alluded to that as well a little bit into that it's you're waiting for the new world, kind of right? But what is heaven to you from what you've been taught, and what would you make heaven be if you had the power, of Yahweh, as they say?
Heaven, what I was told growing up is it's a place you get streets of gold, the pearly gates. You get there, St. Peter's, gets the names out, stuff like that. And then you're again, from what I was told, is you get a new body. So if you were crippled or something was wrong with you, or you're old, you get a new body. And then it's mostly just you're just in worship and all this stuff. which I don't know what that means. Like you said, like church, but you know, it could mean anything. So I don't know. I don't know if that means like because there's different types of worship you can do. Like, people are like, oh, you can only sing these hymns and do this. Like no, there's like rock music that rap. So I'm always like, I wonder it's gonna be like up there, like, all right, this next person come up, we're gonna rap for God and stuff like that. And it's like crazy. But so I don't really know. I don't like I said, I haven't really. But what I want it to be, I don't know. I obviously believe in a nut right now, so I guess I'm good with what it is right now.
Yeah. So if you were to go to heaven right now, you'd be like, cool. Like you don't have any specific that this is what I would want heaven to be like.
Yeah, no, I think it's obviously good enough as it is. If enough people are believing in it and going for it, and it's also like. Because for you, I guess it's easier to be like, what would you want it to be like? Because you can be like, I want it to be like this and that. But for me, is I guess quote unquote knowing what it's going to be like. It doesn't really matter what I want it to be. This is what it is.
Is it a sin to wish for heaven to be different than what you're
I don't think so.
Yeah, like what if you get to heaven and you're just like, this is it?
I don't think I don't. Yeah, I definitely don't think it'd be like that. But no, I don't think. Oh my God, are we going now? I don't know. Is he so bright? Oh shit! Is it happening? Is it happening? Is it happening? I was just joking. Yeah. No, I don't think it's a sin to do that because like I've been told like the more like good you do, like if you do good things, you get like a crown at the end, like different jewels for all the good stuff you did, which I don't know. I don't think it's wrong to think because everyone wants to be like, oh, I bet my I just lost my grandma recently.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. And everyone's like like she was always late to stuff, and so I was like, I bet my grandpa was out waiting for her to get up there and stuff like that. And she's probably talking Peter's ear off and things like that. So I don't think that's wrong to be like, I bet heaven, I bet in heaven you get to do this. I bet in heaven we'll see my grandpa. Like, I don't think that's wrong at all.
Okay. So would you guys be doing stand up in heaven?
Definitely.
If we're doing stand up in heaven, then we're in hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be a quick exit from heaven.
If it's just an open mic.
Just open it up. All right, go.
Yeah. All right, you're up. You're like, no, I don't want to do this again.
An open mic where everybody just keeps cutting in front of the line. Like
hell, I think is an open mic, and you just bomb the entire. You just continuously bomb, and it's all the stuff does well. No, I don't think my comedy is gonna fly in heaven.
Yeah, but definitely no, not for me.
But speaking of comedy, you guys have been you have a show coming up, right?
Yeah, so I guess two things I can talk about. August 25th, I'll be at the Cameo. I'm headlining the Cameo Theater in Fayetteville.
Congratulations! That's
Thank
awesome.
you, thank you. And then August 26th, the next day, we have the Don't Tell My Mom Comedy Showcase, which is brought to you by the Don't Tell My Mom podcast, where we're gonna have on Shrimp King, Taj Jones, Jalen Montanez, RJ Jurgensen, Lenny Urbina, and I'm gonna host it.
Yeah.
And you tickets are at Eventbrite. They're my link on Instagram.
Where is it? Because there's only an address.
It's called West Junction.
Is it like a house? Is it like
West.
a...
Is it Junction West or West Junction? Is it Junction West?
Junction West.
Junction West, yeah.
It's like it's an event site.
It's a big event place. Yeah, go to Junction West, big event center. We're selling tickets right now. We're trying to sell it out because they want to do it. If we do that, we can multiply it, and we have it's going fast. So
yeah, things are picking up for us. So it's been.
It sounds like
it's been pretty good.
You guys are killing it.
Last couple months, we were June. We were in Aberdeen. We sold out the Neon.
Yeah, I
Rooster.
sold out Neon Rooster in Aberdeen. That was great. I was just at the Locals Comedy at Church of Patty's. I just did their feature show.
Yeah, we're
fun.
getting offers. And again, it's silly, but at the same time, I got offered to do a dog festival.
What's that?
So
what
does
that mean?
It's called Wolfstock. It's like a place where everybody brings their animals and it's like a dog tailored show or whatever, however you want to call
It's
it.
comedy for dogs.
It's comedy for pet owners and
Who hates vacuum cleaners out there? Am I right?
And do they DM you online? They're like, "Hey, saw your comedy, or whatever." Or
yes, yeah. They I was on Gig Salad and I got an offer to do this, and I said, "Hey, yeah, I can."
Everybody just watches clips.
people
most
clips.
people.
Short attention span.
That's what we're trying to get more into. My producer Twix has brought that up. That we need to do more. We need to do more clips and stuff.
More clips and content.
More clips and content on social media.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I myself, I'm like, oh, I just do the thing, put it on YouTube, but I need to post it on other platforms.
That's the worst. I posted on Instagram. I posted a clip from the show I did. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was like, all right, on Instagram. I was like, fuck. Now I got to post on TikTok. Now I got to post on Facebook. I should probably post on Twitter too. Now I got. I'm like, and then you just do that, and you're like, it's kind of getting annoying, like doing it all the way. I don't want to keep doing this. I want someone to do this for me.
Yeah.
And then, but I also don't want to pay for one of those apps that you can post on. It'll go to all your stuff because every social media app's different. You can't use the same hashtags on Instagram that you use on TikTok. You got to use a new format. Like it's always changing, and like it's so frustrating. Like social media management, it's the fucking worst.
Yeah, it's terrible, because it's like, but then it's so important as well because then people can't access the fucking content, and the content can be gold.
You'll get nowhere without a clip. Like you have to have like for stand-up people. God, just record every single set you do. Like just do. Yeah. There's the sets we've been doing. We're like, you record? Like, no, I won't record. And then we fucking kill. Like just absolutely demolish the entire
every fucking
crowd.
time.
And then there's some we do record and it doesn't go well, but one joke will go well, and you're like, clip that, throw it up, like just make sure you just record everything, just literally just record all the time, and then post the good stuff.
Yeah,
and that'll help.
Yeah, like I did a show at Meddlesome Theater, and like I just had like
that's here, right?
Yeah. It's over in that like brick area where Cugino Forno.
We had the pizza and the brewery.
Yeah.
It was right there.
Fuck that pizza place, bro. Ain't got no damn ranch.
They got good gelato though.
They got
pizza
no
with
ranch.
No ranch for
they got no ranch.
Oh. Yeah.
Don't get us started on ranch dressing.
Yeah, they're Napoli style pizza, like.
That's
But hey, listen, the best pizza's in the goddamn U.S. At least I haven't been to Lower Italy, but I went to Northern Italy, and I haven't been to Southern or Central Italy, but I went to Northern Italy. Garbage,
really?
Because they're too like, and
it's like there's no like the crust can be picked up. The crust is like a little bit softer, like.
God forbid you fucking fold your pizza over there.
Exactly, like it's American pizza all the way. But yeah, where can people find you guys? You
can find me on Instagram and Threads at Lenny Urbina Comedy.
You're using Threads?
Yeah,
no one's using Threads. Like, it's already dead. They put a report out.
Dead, but I'm just dead.
It's like I hate that I even made it one.
He was like, you should get on Threads. I'm like, I don't know. And then the next day they're like, no one's using Threads.
And to take it off, it's just you have to kill your whole Instagram.
Yeah,
account.
But you can make money off Twitter now. You heard about that?
Yeah, you got to get a blue check mark, and then comes from ad revenue.
Yeah, but like even just people like seeing your tweets, if you get enough engagement, you can start making money off of that. Apparently,
yeah. But you gotta have you have the check mark, right?
Yeah,
you gotta pay for that.
Yeah, it's like $7 a month or something.
It's not bad. Spend money, make money.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well, thank you guys for coming on, and
Where can we find you,
we hope to have you soon.
Oh right,
and even if you guys become like big hotshots, I hope you don't forget to sometimes come on the podcast.
How can we forget you?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, we gotta have them on.
I know. When we get scheduled, we will.
Well, we get our shit together.
Yeah, it'll come around. I'm not
worried
on time.
The thing is, it's all coming in at once.
You guys have a lot of shit going on. Listen,
all at once, and we're like, damn it, we got no manager, we got nothing. We're doing everything.
Yeah, we need a fucking
ourselves.
team.
So,
well, hey, that's the way. That's where you're building. That's where you don't necessarily need it to somebody if especially if it's not aligned with what you want. So you have full control of it.
That's the thing too, is getting somebody that it's just it's too fucking much work. I don't know. I just kill myself. Yeah. So,
hell yeah. Well, follow these guys. This has been Casa Thinking. Thank you.
Good.